Okay, the next element related to framing in an image is juxtaposition. Juxtaposition is capturing the relationship between subjects in a photo so that each part of the image has some bearing on and some relationship with the other part. Well, as you've been shooting, you've probably noticed the relationships of objects in the frame. You've probably also noticed that there are objects in the frame you weren't aware of when you were taking the picture. All right, so our mind has this incredible ability to filter out distracting elements in our environment and focus only on what we're interested in. The camera, on the other hand, records everything in the scene, whether we like it or not, which is how we get, for instance, tree branches, light poles, things sticking out of people's heads, trucks passing by in our landscape shots, and all kinds of things. Well, if we're careful, we can not only avoid these kinds of clutter, but also compose our frame in such a way as to put objects next to each other that create a greater emphasis in our photos. This is what we call juxtaposition. So let's take a look at some of these examples. Okay, of course, this juxtaposition can be of any size, shape, color, or any other element that provides contrast in the image between two objects. So let's look at our examples. In the first example, we have this image of Jesus, a statue of Jesus, juxtaposed with the night sky, contrast light and dark. In your next example that you'll be looking at here on the screen, we have a juxtaposition of color and also really of some textures and whatnot, but color is the main area of juxtaposition here with all of our variety. Next image you look at here, we've got a juxtaposition of objects, and this really deals more with the placement of the objects. We've got the llamas on the top left of the image, and they're kind of juxtaposed against the backdrop of the rest of the scene. And so we've used the idea of placement to juxtapose certain things to create contrast. And then in your next image, we're looking at, again, a juxtaposition of value or contrast between the lights and the darks. You have the sunlit areas in the middle here of the ruins and the mountain peak, and then in the background and the foreground, you've got the darker areas that are in shadow, and that's a juxtaposition of contrast.